Hey everybody, Mac Tomasa here, back with yet another character, Captain America. Um, so overall, bad news, Captain America. You have been severely nerfed. Not severely nerfed where you can't be played or anything like that. However, with the new defense system, it does not benefit you well at all. So let's go over the defense right now. Obviously at 32, I got okay defense, 3100. I got some defense for artifacts. The Super Soldier Serum is now awesome, by the way. But at defense right now, 3,100. I'm at 41%, 0.5% damage reduction. You've probably already seen DPS classes at the same level of defense, which kind of sucks because you were supposed to be super defensive. And I'm going to go over where the biggest nerf hits you hardest. It's this quick block skill. Quick block used to, at rank, give me 75% damage reduction. Now what's happened is it does still block the first hit incoming, but then it increases my defense rating by 117.5% for 12 seconds. And while slotted on the action bar, it gives me 493 bonus defense. So it still doesn't sound terrible, and I'm still going to make my build around it. So I'm going to go ahead and click this just so I can show you. Let me get my 1 point and shield bash so I can get the shield points built up. Let's just put shield bash here. Shield bash, where do you go? There you are. Let me build up my shield points. Okay. So now I'm at 3,900 defense. So I went up 800 defense for a little bit under 5% damage reduction. I'm at 46.3 now. If you haven't been able to tell, that's a nerf. So we'll spend our quick block here. We'll hit number 5, send our defense through the roof, get it back. Now we're sitting at 8,526 defense for 62.8% damage reduction. We're not even at the damage reduction we used to be at when we spent quick block. We've actually lost 7% damage reduction. And not only that, that damage reduction was before defense was applied, so we actually had defense before after that. So going from 4,000 defense, 3,920, 46.3% chance, we spend our point, we more than double our defense, and we go up 16% damage reduction. That's effectively a loss of 59% damage reduction. So you're still going to tank. You're going to tank well. You're not broken. You're just nerfed. The skill was a little disgusting to be able to use. And to offset this, they have increased our damage. Very wise of them. If they didn't increase the damage and left that defense the way it was, I would say everybody would have a great level of complaint, because that's just wrong. Hulk got nerfed like this really, really bad also. So that's the first nerf. Quick block, that's what's happened. Another nerf now is this aggressive aura. You spend points in it, it's not really a lot of damage. However, shouting it and basically being a bard, that's getting kind of to a decent amount of damage. The reason why it's starting to get decent is because of the damage coefficient all skills get. So plus 300 damage when you're doing 1,000 damage isn't a lot. And when you're taking only a percentage of that damage, it becomes even less. 600 damage when you're doing 1,000 damage, kind of getting to a lot. So the shout effect is where it pays out. So I don't know if it's a nerf or a buff. It's kind of a weird thing. It's just where it's at. There's a massive buff on Shield Bash, and what that buff is the fact that it has a huge chance to grant a shield point. At one point, it's 83.5% chance. That's just disgusting. So that's awesome for us. That is definitely a nice little buff. You can get your shield points in a matter of seconds now. And the damage was increased, but the damage on everybody was increased, so that's not really there. Invigorating Shout. This is definitely a buff for us. The aura, semi-useless, 190 maximum health. It's the 90 health per second that we're getting that's awesome. I mean, that's just a massive amount of health per second. So that is probably a buff. That's very helpful for us, especially considering the way Quick Block works. You will still be the best tank, I think. I don't think anybody's going to really compare at 65% damage reduction. I don't think anyone else can hit it. Not as easily, anyway. So, with the regeneration, it will pay off in spades. Encouraging Shout. It's now more of a scalable haste, which is nice. So it's probably a buff. I think it's a debuff to the regular effect, but if you use it like a bard and you keep the short duration boost up, you know, keep hitting the button, you'll love it by far. They greatly buffed shield bounce. Its damage starts to get really up there. Definitely more than 4 to 5 times normal damage, and the maximum bounces have increased. You are now the bounce master. I don't think anybody else can bounce as well as you. Daredevil doesn't come close anymore. So definitely a cool ability to have upped. Our ultimate, the damage bonus is definitely greater. The stun has been removed, but oh well. And, you know, you restore some spirit. You shouldn't have a spirit issue, I don't think, unless you're a spirit burning Captain America, a DPS America. And you also become immune to all crowd control effects. That's pretty diesel. And you get a lot of defense. So if you work that in with the quick block, that's where I'm talking. That 1500 defense really only makes you somewhere around 65% damage reduction. It's the bell curve of defense. Don't gear hardcore for defense. Don't artifact for defense. Don't medallion for defense. It's just not going to pay out. Your skills are going to net you the most amount of defense that you're going to see. Obviously, with gear, keep in mind defense should probably be the #1 factor that you're looking for. Let the gear still work for you. But you don't need the extra slots to work for you in defense. Side note, Leaping Strike here says it does double damage because it says, you know, an extra triple damage, actually. It says it does triple damage because you spend 2 shield points, and per point of shield you basically double the damage. It doesn't actually work out that way. I've tried it. It's only doing double damage for 2 shield points. Still a pretty hard-hitting ability if you were looking to be a shield point burner. Shield Bash and Leaping Strike would definitely be a great way. Probably better damage than Vibranium Bash, and you keep some points around. And that's really all the changes. All the damage has gone up, but everybody's damage has gone up, so keep that in mind. For me, the Captain America build choice is still going to be Quick Block #1. That's going to still be your key to success. And Combat Veteran's got to be worked in there. And I'll show you his defense with everything gone. I think I hit 70%. Shield Bounce, got to take that, seeing how we're the king of bounces. It's awesome. It's good for the trash. It's kind of that's how you kind of like become a trash pack killer. You know, like when you're dealing with greens, it's going to be shield bounce now. Pretty nice. Got to take invigorating shout. We're all about regenerating health because we will be taking damage now, and we'll be taking substantially more damage. Even though it looks like we shouldn't, we will be. Especially from Midtown bosses and red bosses and all those other things. Heroic charge still works as intended, so we still get a nice little damage absorption there. We're going to keep that up. And then I'm still going to stay with shield strike. And I'm going to put 1 point like I already did in shield bash. I'm going to put 1 point in defensive prowess just to make sure we have that. That's projectile deflection, still pretty good. And 1 point in warrior's heart. Okay, write that down. We don't need it per se, but it's basically making shield bash a guaranteed 10 shield points in less than 7 seconds. Pretty nice. So I'm just going to click to confirm that. I already have it kind of set up, although I'll have my shield over here. Now that these medkits are on the M button, I get rid of that completely. I'm going to have my invigorating shout up as my health regen, basically. That's kind of like my new key for medkits. We're going to put shield bounce on the bar, and we're going to change this over to shield strike. And that's all we really need. We just put the shield bash over here as an afterthought, because we're only going to use it just to get to the max shield points. And now that I'm at max shield points, we'll go back to the defense. With all that defense worked in, we're at 51% damage reduction. Most tanks float around 51%. Let me pop the quick block and get a shield point. Oops, wrong button. There it is. Now we're at 10,000 defense. As you can see, it's 66.8% defense. We haven't really pushed. We've gotten 2,500 extra defense for 2% damage reduction. The bell curve just hurts. It's a little too steep of a bell curve. So let me pop his ultimate and a quick block, and then I'll use the shield blash again to get to maximum shield points, so everything's listed. And so we got that. We got this. We'll do that. We'll go back to our character. 14,344 defense. What a massive number. And yes, I hit 71.5% defense. Damage reduction. So, blowing everything, we've still been nerfed 3.5% damage reduction. And that's before we had much more damage reduction, because then we had our defense kicked in. This is just off of defense. So gearing, I'm going to suggest the Doom's Medal. That's going to help all your quick block, your shield bash, or your heroic charge, your ultimate, and your invigorating shout durations, all to stay on longer. That benefits you the most. You get okay damage rating with it. And now that we're taking damage, fearing everything as we're getting surrounded is great crowd control for us. So Doom's Medallion really pays out. A second medallion would be Sabertooth's for some health regen, more health regen. Super Soldier Serum is now awesome for us tanks because it's health and health regen. Defense doesn't pay out as well anymore because all our tank abilities are giving us massive amounts of defense. And the higher defense we hit, the less defense we get, or damage reduction. So health and health regen are massive stats on gear. For us tanks, I would almost weigh out plus health over plus defense changes. So get as much health as you can. It's just different now. And then critical hit rating is massive. A little bit of dodge goes a long way. A little bit of crit goes a long way. You know, 173 rating, I got 13.5% crit rating. That's just nuts. And so a little bit of those go a long way. Those are nice extras. Obviously, you're going to want plus skills that are your main skills. Because of the way defense actually doesn't pay out, I would almost favor our DPS and invigorating shout over our defensive skills like quick block and combat veteran. You know, maybe heroic charge because it has that extra hit point damage absorption in there. That would probably be the best money for money point to get, because the higher we get that, the more damage we absorb before we even take damage. So that would be a nice benefit. And that's Captain America. So in overall, you're nerfed, but you're still very, very, very effective. Don't get insulted by me calling these nerfs, because they are nerfs, whether you like it or not. You know, don't post, say, "Oh my God, you're wrong. These aren't nerfs." Don't bother with it. I mean, you know, when enemies are 5 times the health on normal, 10 times the health on blue, 15 on yellow, and 30 on bosses, it's just nerfs. And they're probably warranted nerfs, but that's okay. You're still going to be super effective. I'm not saying you're not going to be effective. I'm just saying your skills have changed, and you have to take those new changes into consideration. Still very, very strong character. You will enjoy him. Probably enjoy him a little more because you do more damage. And that's it. So that's Captain America. Hope to help you guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you later.